Special daughter of the Champaign-Urbana community, Miss Sherrika Ellison.
Dictionary.com means to have or keep in the hand, to remain or continue in a specified state, to keep or maintain a grasp on something, to maintain one's position against opposition and or continue in resistance. The song Hold On Just a Little While Longer challenges one's true faith, determination, strength, patience, and ability one has to hold on and wait for God. Maybe you're sitting before me today and you feel that you just can't make it. You feel that all your friends have turned their backs on you. You feel alone. You received a letter of rejection to a job, college, audition, and or organization you wanted to be a part of. You did not receive good news at your last visit to the doctor. You did not receive the A you thought you would get on the test. You know you tried your best, but still blame imperfections only you see. You know that Jesus loves you, but you don't even love yourself.
All right now.
You are in an abusive relationship and can't find a way out. You're going through many hard trials and storms in your life, and you cannot see the end of the rainbow. And maybe, just maybe, you too have a dream as the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had, and you have not been able to reach it. Well, I stand before you today to tell you that in the midst of it all, hold on, wait for God, a change is gonna come. Maybe you feel you need a closer walk with patience, but my questions for you are, what does it take to hold on? In the midst of it all, what will you hold on to in your life in order to see the end of the rainbow and get to the place where you ultimately want to be? Today, I invite you to take a journey with me through my box of keepsakes and things that I have held on to and encourage you to hold on to. So in the midst of it all, the first item in my box of keepsakes that I have held on to is my true character. Character is a combination of outer and inner characteristics that determine the impression that a person makes upon others. It is a description of a person's attributes, traits, and abilities. Ask yourself, are you showing the world who you truly are? Are you staying true to your character? The weekly theme for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration is the beloved community begins here, from one voice to many. And as I reflected on this theme, I thought about the many voices within my community that served as an inspiration in my life and guided and shaped my character and the woman that I am today. It was the voice of my mother that instilled the Bible in me and taught me two very important verses about character. The first verse from the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Commonly referred to as the quote, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Meaning treat people the way you want to be treated. The second verse she teaches me on a daily basis comes from the book of James, chapter 4, verse 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. This particular verse taught me several things. It taught me that I must have humility and be able to see myself exactly as I am. It taught me that a prideful person wants the benefits of a situation without doing the necessary work. But a humble person is willing to work for success. It taught me that a humble person is in touch with reality and understands their role in the family or group. It taught me that a humble person is a person who can follow a good leader and don't have to be in charge. But if duty requires them to be in charge, they will do a good job because they are willing to do the necessary work. Yes, I learned and I walk a humble life. I always strive to make an everlasting first impression by staying true to who I am and making a difference in the lives of many people on a daily basis. For example, my interest in social justice and social change is one of the reasons why I became a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Sorors, please wave your hand. Thank you. Just beautiful. Truly, it was the voices, determination, and courageous stand of the 22 founders who participated in their first public act as an organization in the Women's Suffrage March on March 3rd, 1913. It was a time of racial and feminist tumult, and a time where women were seen but had no voice. It was the fact that the 22 founders believed that African American women deserved the right not only to be educated, but the right to vote. It was this courageous stand and the fact that my personal goals and philosophy were in harmony with the sorority's 5-point pragmatic thrust, which focuses on economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, political awareness and involvement. It was also the fact that the goals and mission of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated aligned with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. I stand before you today a recipient of the Living the Dream Scholarship. Truly, it is because of the Living the Dream Scholarship that I was able to obtain my bachelor's degree in communications from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which in turn paved the way for me to receive my master's degree in human resources. As I was going through my files in my home, I found my Living the Dream essay. And it was the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech that I referenced in the first paragraph of my essay. The first paragraph read as follows: "Now is the time to open the doors of opportunity to all of God's children. Now is the time to lift our nations from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood." And I went on to write, when I think of someone who is determined to unlock the doors of opportunity, I think of someone like me. Education is undoubtedly the key that opens the doors of opportunity. Historically, receiving an education has been perceived as a gift. However, as we approach the new millennium, education has come to be accepted as a right that I have taken advantage of and embraced with enthusiasm. I went on to talk about how I would lift my nation from the quicksands of racial injustice. I also mentioned in my essay that I too had a dream. One of those dreams was to become a successful woman, specifically one who is able to help others in need and to give back to those who may not be as fortunate as I have been. I wrote this in 1999, but it was the voice of Dr. Sandra Cato and the Upward Bound College Prep Academy from 1996 to 1999 that exposed me and equipped me with the skills and motivation necessary to enter a post-secondary institution and successfully complete a 4-year degree. It was Upward Bound that provided me an environment that fostered my ability to grow and develop into a consummate individual. It was the voice of Dr. Cato that afforded me the opportunity to give back to a program that gave so much to me. It was also Dr. Cato that taught me Stephen Covey's 8 Habits of Highly Effective People, powerful lessons in personal change. Habit 1, be proactive. Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. Habit 3, put first things first. Habit 4, think win-win. Habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit 6, synergize. Habit 7, sharpen the saw, meaning sharpen your brain. And habit 8, to find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. Oh, there were many voices that have inspired my life and shaped my character. And I would be remiss if I did not name a few more. It was the voice of my grandmother who encourages me to read my Bible every day and to grow spiritually. It is the voice of my aunt who helps me to stay healthy and encourages me to eat my whole grain rice. It is the voice of my sister Maisha and my brother Terrence who taught me it is better to give than to receive. It is the voice of Bishop and Evangelist Gwen who taught me that the prerequisite of vision is faith. It is the voice of Mr. Somerville who taught me to get along with my chocolate and vanilla brothers and sisters. And it was Mr. Somerville who helped me to find this great big voice you hear and to appreciate different genres of music, from classical, Handel's Messiah, He shall purify. To Jazz, Porgy, and Beth, summertime. And the living is to Soul with the Stylistics, people make the world go round. To Country with Leanne Rhymes, how do I live without you? I wanted to know. So it was also the voice of Dwayne Cyrus who taught me to appreciate the art of movement through dance such as ballet and tap dancing. It was the voice of Dr. Ollie Watts Davis that taught me about mustard seed faith. She told me to look at the tiny mustard seed and see Jesus and the power of the Holy Spirit working in me, and to act on this faith and move any mountain standing in my way. It was the voice of my dear soror Minnie, who constantly told me that I can do it, and that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. It was the voice of my soror Mia, who encourages me to follow my dreams, and as a big fish to swim out of the small pond and join the whales in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It was the voice of Sherry, who taught me the definition of what it means to be a true friend and have an appreciation for fashion. It is the voice of Chandra, who taught me that I do have genius friends, and you can truly laugh until you just can't breathe. It was the voice of my soror and college roommate, Sherry L, who taught me it is better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And it was the voice of Royale who taught me about inspiration and told me that I inspire him as he presented the Inspiring Change Through Excellence Award to me. So as you can see, one of the largest, very first and important items that I am holding on to in my box of keepsakes is my character. There are many voices within my community that have shaped my true character. As we continue our journey through my box of keepsakes, the second item that I have held on to in my box of keepsakes is a pure heart. Hello. And welcome aboard Pure of Heart Airlines, flight number 777. If you're going to Pure Actions, California, you're in the right place. If you're not going to Pure Actions, California, and you wanted to fly undercover motives, hidden agendas, sneakiness Alaska, you're about to have a really long morning. We'd like to tell you about some of our safety features on this aircraft. The most important safety feature we have aboard the plane is the simply pure heart sitting next to you. Please look at one now. There are 5 exits aboard this plane, 2 at the front, 2 over the wings, and 1 over the plane's rear end. If you're seated in one of the exit rows, please do not store your bags at your feet. That would be a really bad idea. Please take a moment and look around and find the nearest exit. Count the rows of pure hearts between you and the exit. In the event you try to compare yourselves to others, you may need to find an exit immediately. Trust me, falling prey to self-righteousness will only lead in an earlier exit than even you could not expect. We also have pretty red blinking lights on the floor that will blink towards the exit of manipulation. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, a small bag will drop down over your head. My advice is that you stop screaming and stick it over your nose and mouth. The bags won't inflate, but there's oxygen in there, I promise. If you're sitting next to a small child or someone who is acting like a small child, please do us all a favor and put on your mask first. If you're traveling with 2 or more children, please take a moment now to decide which one is your favorite. Help that one first, then work your way down. Just kidding. There's no smoking in the cabin on this flight. There's also no smoking in the lavatories. Remember, we are seeking to keep our hearts clean and our lifestyles pure. If we see smoke coming from the laboratories, we will assume you are on fire and put you out. This is a free service we provide. There are, however, 2 smoking sections on the flight this morning, one outside each wing exit. By the way, we do have a movie in the smoking section this morning. Hold on, let me check to see what it is. Oh, here it is. The movie this morning is Gone with the Wind. In a moment, we will be turning off the cabin lights, and it's going to get really dark really fast. If you're afraid of the dark, now would be a good time to reach up and press your yellow button. The yellow button turns on your reading light. Please do not press the orange button unless you feel your heart is heavy, and you absolutely have to. The orange button is your seat ejection button. Anywho, we're glad to have you on board this flight. Thank you for choosing Pure of Heart Airlines, where we keep one's agenda on the right track, followed up by pure actions that are pleasing to man and God. We put a sparkle in your eyes that no bottle of Visine could replicate. We also ensure you do not have circles under your eyes from lack of sleep, because here at Pure of Heart Airlines, we make sure you rest well with a clean conscience while your enemies toss and turn all night. For choosing Pure of Heart Airlines and giving us your business and your money. If there's anything we can do to make you more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask. If you all weren't strapped down, you would have given me a standing ovation by now, wouldn't you? Just kidding. But once again, here at Pure of Heart Airlines, we want you to know that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Matthew 5:8, that's it. That's the goal of the Christian life. That's what we're living for, that we may live our life in such a way that we see God. Yes, can I get an amen there? And if we see God, that will open up the treasure trove of all of the blessings, not only for eternity, but also for life here and now. And the key to open that treasure trove is a pure heart. Yes, remember, you cannot be born fearless without having a pure heart. You cannot mourn for the things that displease God without having what? Say it with me, a pure heart. You cannot be meek. You cannot hunger. You cannot thirst for righteousness. You cannot be merciful. You cannot be a peacemaker or be prepared to stand persecution for the name of Christ without having a what? A pure united. Hallelujah. Actually, that is one of the most essential principles of the Christian life that we see in the whole Bible. The heart of the matter is the heart of the matter. Can I get an amen? Excuse me. It seems that we have landed. Welcome to Pure Actions International Airport. Sorry about the bumpy landing. Please remain seated until the plane is parked at the gate. At no time in history has a passenger beaten the plane to the gate. So please don't even try it. Have a blessed day. Well, I hope you enjoyed your flight. The third item in my box of keepsakes that I have held on to is my dreams. Ask yourself, what is your dream? What have you been looking for and praying for? Has anybody ever told you, do not lose your dreams? Well, I remember when I was first taught about having a dream as a little girl. And it was in the junior choir at the Church of the Living God, and Sister Angela Evans taught us a song called Think Big by Walt Whitman and the Soul Children of Chicago. Does anybody know it? Just wave your hand. All right, so I want to look like this. There is no limit to what I can do if I keep believing my dreams will come true. It's just a matter of beginning to start, following the feeling down deep in my heart. I might as well think big. Why should any thoughts be small? I might as well to dream and to think big as it relates to my dreams. Oh, and I dreamed big and I still do today. I dreamed I would uplift my community. I dreamed that God would allow me to use my talents in a way that I could not even imagine, which led me, as you heard earlier, to the stage of the Apollo Theater, which led me to the center court of the Staples Center, singing during the NBA playoffs, to name a few. And reflecting on my dreams, I remembered a short play I was in called Choices. The beginning of Choices started out with a monologue presented by 5 main characters, and it went a little like this. I want to be remembered. I want to make such an impact on the society I live in. I want to provide a safe place for my children. I want to show everybody, anybody, the gifts I have been given, but it's all dependent on my choices. My choice can not only voice my opinions and daily expressions I've been suppressing due to fear of rejection, but really it's the key unlocking the mystery of my future. Because I chose to exploit myself just to acquire wealth. But nothing special in that, because everybody's doing it. Turning on the TV to see girls look like me, maybe just as talented, or shaking it and breaking it while song and artists can make that money. Those girls appear to be dummies. And no one cares to know their names, and I want fame. Yet it's hard to stand out without playing along with the game, because many women have won going against the grain. Like Dorothy Dandridge and Tina Turner and Anita Hill, or was it Lauryn Hill? Maybe Jill Scott or Queen Latifah. These women were dreamers and established themselves somehow as leaders. And that's where I want to be, yet there are prices to pay as a celebrity. And maybe my big hopes will simply remain revered, but something in my heart is carrying me to tell me to persist, telling me to resist the negativity around me and inside of me. Find the inner light within me that's hiding and let it guide me. Let my passions burn a fire so bright that it's blinding, no one can deny me. But I'm stuck. I'm trapped not knowing how to move from one step to the next. All I know is forward I'll keep pushing, making the choices that are best. Any good choice should consist of and not be limited to living a safe, healthy, happy, prosperous, and meaningful life. Because I'm the one who's most affected by my choices. It's my voice and my fuel. So I encourage you to hold on to your dreams. Think big and dream big. Truly, there is power in a dream. For Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed big. He visualized his dream. His dream turned into his true vision for the America we live in today. So hold on firmly to your dreams. Which leads me to my fourth and most important item in my box of keepsakes that I have held on to my entire life and carry with me everywhere I go and keep close to my heart. The fourth item is God. Luke 1:37 says, for with God nothing shall be impossible. There was a caption on a shirt I saw one day, and it said, life is what happens when you make other plans. Well, I like to believe that God is what happens to you when you make plans for your life. A lot of us think we can plan our lives out to a T. A lot of us think we have control over our lives, and just when we think we have it all together, life happens. But I stand before you to tell you that it is God who happens when we try to plan out our lives. He is truly the master of our destiny. Psalms 37:5 says, one should commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Meaning, give the Lord control of your life. If you're going to be successful in God, you must know that you will never completely understand God. He truly has a plan for your life. He'll give you hope for tomorrow, joy for your sorrow, and strength for everything that you go through. You just have to remember that God has a plan for you and your life. So as I close my box of keepsakes, I encourage you to open your own box of keepsakes and take a look in the box and hold on to everything in your box. But I hope you're holding on to your character. I hope you're holding on and keeping a pure heart. Hold on to your dreams and hold on to God throughout your life. I want you to appreciate and utilize your talents, recognize and respect a higher power, acquire knowledge and achieve balance. Everything in life is a test, though the answers are always not obvious. In the beginning, you may not be aware, but I want you to look at your heart and make a choice. and the purpose, meaning, and goal of each test will be clear. Be true to your identity till infinity. Please praise God and give affirmation. Embrace the future and the unknown path you'll choose to arrive. Dream big dreams. Do great things, no matter how impossible they may seem. Remember, shortcuts to satisfy your right now desires will leave you left out of vast empire. To the 2012 Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarships recipients, have faith, take courage, do everything you are capable to aspire. Live, dream, then do, and never tire. To everyone sitting before me today, if you feel that you just can't make it, keep holding on just a little while longer. If you feel that nothing is going right in your life, I am here to tell you to just hold on a little while longer. We all know weeping may endure for the night, but I am here to tell you that if you trust God, joy will surely come in the morning. So hold on just a little while longer, for a change is gonna come. Thank you.
Before all they just, ooh, yes we did, yes we did.